Hello everyone, wonderful to see you all here. We've got a great turnout and a great topic. We're going to be learning all about low content book publishing in today's session, and we have a wonderful guest speaker who I'll introduce in a moment. But firstly, I hope you've been making great progress with your own ebook projects and you've been busy learning, doing, getting feedback, testing out different freelancers and just generally moving your individual projects forwards. But it's always really nice to get together again as a group and watch and learn. And then we've got some more tools and strategies to move ahead with. And this is a really cool topic. So I've actually got some slides that I want to run through with you just to make sure I cover all the things I need to in the intro. And while Neil's talking, I will be checking all your comments because I'm looking forward to seeing the progress you've been making. And if there's any questions you want me to get organized for next week's call as well. So I know lots of you have been really busy. I can see from the comments you've all been working really hard on your books, so that's wonderful. Really proud of you all and pleased to see the quick progress. It's a really great game to be in, this one. I mean, we make such rapid leaps and bounds when you put the work in, so love it. All right, now I will put my screen share on, some slides, and make my slides big. And today we're going to be hearing from Neil Larson, who's going to be talking about BookBolt, which is some software that could potentially help you generate yet another income stream through selling books on Amazon. So Neil's been involved in creating multiple six-figure businesses through Amazon. He's focusing now on print on demand, which means that you can do very little content in the middle of your books and really just do a good front cover and a template. And he'll be talking about this in much more detail than I can go into now, but it's a really nice thing to be able to scale up fast if you can just do these low content books. So it's a whole different strategy to writing non-fiction. It's using the same platform, but it doesn't have very much in common beyond that. So this software is going to really help you automate what you need to do to be successful publishing these low content books. So it's things like journals. So I think I've mentioned this in some of my other sessions, but things like, I've probably got something in my top drawer even, like all those weekly planner type, I can't see any right now, but there's sort of the weekly planners, any kind of journal, any kind of list writing, calendars. I'm sure lots of us just bought calendars recently. Any puzzles, Sudoku, crosswords, all that kind of thing. Food diaries, exercise journals, travel stuff, you name it. There's all sorts of ideas out there that you can think about to turn out your own low content books. So it means that you are out of that sort of the slowest bit of the step, which is waiting for the book to be written by a ghostwriter. It's all about the front cover, matching up with keywords that are popular enough, but obviously not too competitive. And then Neil will be showing you how BookBolt works to help you to produce them. So today we'll look a little bit at KDP and how print on demand is part of that, about low content books, how to know what the customers actually want, how to pick which keywords to optimize your products around, getting the first product created and uploaded, and puzzle books. Now, lots of us around various parts of the world are doing different things with quarantine and lockdowns. So New Zealand's pretty free and open. We're very lucky here. But my poor sister in London's just gone back into full lockdown again, and in different parts of the world we're all at least, if there's big changes for all of us, whatever place we live in, and certainly a lot more time at home, although less time commuting, where we might have done some puzzles on the train or something. So over to Neil. We've got a special deal for you at the end if you want to use this tool, and over the next sort of 45 minutes or so, Neil will be walking you through how it all works and what it's all about, and I'm looking forward to listening and taking notes too. I've got my notebook out for my first proper work of 2021, yes, a great strategy to kick off the year with. So over to you, Neil.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having me. Can you hear me all right? First of all, I want to make sure that my mic is all good. Awesome. So I saw that you mentioned that everyone is pretty much working on ebooks. Is that correct? Yes, ebooks. Okay, so you're all familiar with KDP then, selling on Amazon, bringing it back, okay? So print on demand is something I've been involved in for 4 or 5 years now. Kind of started off with selling t-shirt designs. So just to break it down, print on demand is simply it's printed on demand. So if you sell something, you never actually have to have a product, a physical product. You don't have to pay for that product to show up at your door and then ship it to Amazon. So I started off selling a bunch of different types of t-shirts and sweatshirts, long sleeves, stuff like that. And you basically get, it's just like KDP, you get a product listing on Amazon. And when that product listing goes live, it's live, people can purchase it in the US, the UK, all over the world. And when they purchase it, Amazon then prints it, ships it, fulfills it, deals with all the customer service. So I've been doing that for quite a while now. I've had a KDP account for many, many years. So I also have ebooks online, but think of the same method as doing an ebook, but having a physical copy. So you can write a long form book, you can put it up on Amazon. When that sells, Amazon then gets it printed, they ship it. If the customer complains, they deal with the customer service, and all they do is they pay you a royalty into your account each month. So that all sounds really great, but the problem that she mentioned when we first started this is that you have to wait for ghostwriters to write your books. You have to wait for yourself to write the books if that is what you are doing. And that can take a long time. So if you kind of take that same method and you change it up a little bit, which I'm going to be showing you here on the computer in 1 second, you can still print on demand books without actually writing anything. So we're talking about journals, calendars, trackers. So any kind of tracker you can think of, password trackers, diabetes logs, log books, stuff like that. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. And I'm just going to show you some examples of low content books. So we are all on the same page here. So I think this is the right one. All right. Can you guys see the screen here? I need to make sure that I can see the chat.
Oh, good.
More chat. Okay. All right. I've got it all opened up here. Perfect. Okay. So let's just go ahead and over to an Amazon page. And now that I can see the chat, can someone just give me a random niche, anything off the top of their head, that you think that people might want to buy? Songwriting. Okay, that's the first one I saw. So I'm just going to type in songwriting journal and click enter. And right off the bat, there's a lot of these 30-day lyric songwriting challenge. And the first thing you're going to notice is all of these right now on the very top are sponsored. They have reviews though. So scrolling down, we can see, Write Better Lyrics, Song Journal. Let's take a look at this one, because this one looks like it might be a low content book. So we'll go ahead and open this. 3 reviews, 120 pages of lines. Now there's 2 things you want to take a look at, okay, when you're looking kind of just generally on Amazon at these types of books. First thing is scroll down to these product details box, okay? This is going to tell you if it is a KDP book or not. If it's a KDP book, it's going to say independently published. So this was actually published last year, May 15th, 120 pages, and you'll see 6x9. So this is part of the KDP platform, all right? It has 3 reviews, and you can see a sales rank here, so it is selling. Now, the second thing, this is the most important part. I want you guys to take a look at this cover. So there's a look inside button on these books. We'll take a look at this. There's 2 parts of a low content book. There is the cover of a low content book, and that is the most important part because that's going to catch your eye right away when you're looking at the search results. And as you can see with this, this is nothing special. I'm pretty sure every single person in this chat could create something that probably looks a little bit better because this is not very readable. But there's the cover, and then there's the interior. Now, when you see look inside here, you'll be able to actually click on this and look at the book. So you'll see the cover. If we scroll down here, they have an intro page, pretty straightforward. And this is the book. If you guys can see this, this is a very bad interior. It's not very dark. This is the book, okay? So you have lines. There's not a single, there's no writing. There's no stories. There's no chapters. There's no, content at all. There's some music lines, another line, like that's the entire book for 100 pages, I believe. Nope, 120 pages. Okay, so super, super, super simple to create. Now, I want to kind of jump into, I know people are showing me in the comments over here, like, hey, here's some random ideas. There are ideas for literally everything. If I come up here and I type in like cow tracker, maybe. Let's see, cow tracker book. Just want to find, okay, right here. This is a good example. Beef calving logbook. All right, we'll take a look inside. This is the most obscure thing that I could probably think of off the top of my head here. And you'll come down here and it says, this logbook belongs to, again, an intro page, very easy to create. So they wrote, look, one sentence. This belongs to, and here's the entire book. Lines. This is every single page of this book. And it looks like it has 3 reviews and it's selling on Amazon. So 2 pieces of the book. You need the cover and you need the interior. Think of the interior as line pages or graph paper, something like that, not stories. So this stuff is really, really easy to create. I will show you how to do that in a minute here. Now, I do see a comment over here that says, why does it say it's copyrighted? Copyrighted material, all of the look inside previews. So on Amazon, all of these are going to automatically include this because it's the copyright of whoever created this book and put it on KDP. So this is very, very standard on Amazon. So hopefully you guys are starting to understand what a low content book is. If you do, put it down in the chat if you understand. If you have any questions at any time, just ask me because I'm going to be kind of moving through this fairly quickly just to make sure that we have all the moving pieces. But I promise you at the very end, it's super, super easy. Okay. So now,
Neil,
yes?
Neil, just out of curiosity, what's the BSR for this logbook?
Oh, this calf one? I didn't actually look at that. Let me do that right now. It looks like under 1 million. So it's not selling great, but it is selling.
Under 1 million? That's fun.
Yeah. It's ridiculous the things you'll find that start selling, but the problem is, and I guess what we're going to get into is, how do you come up with what customers on the other side of Amazon want? Like, I would have no idea if I hadn't looked this up previously that a calving logbook was even a thing. Okay, so I didn't even know that was a thing, but people are buying this in the interiors. That's it. There's like no stories. There's no anything else. You put it up on KDP. It's available pretty much for the entire world. So let us actually head over, and I'm going to show you guys how to figure out what people are actually buying on Amazon. So the first method is to sit here all day long and type in random things into Amazon, right? You're going to probably run out of ideas fairly quickly because, that's what I used to do. I sat here, I looked at my desk, I'd be like, oh, there's a knife on my desk. I'm going to type in, knife journal, knife notebook. I have a calendar on my wall. I start looking at that kind of things, but eventually you're going to go, okay, how do I figure out what people actually want to buy so that we can go through and create one of these books? So that is why we created Bookbolt. It is a piece of software. There is a 3-day free trial for you guys to follow along if you want to. Now, I think she put a coupon code somewhere. It's just Sophie20, I believe, in full caps. It'll be 20% off, but 3-day free trial so you guys can follow along. So make sure to grab one of these now or at the very end if you just want to pay attention.
Yeah, I'll pop that in the chat box so you've all got a
perfect
one you can copy and paste.
I'll do that.
All right, so let's go ahead and log in. I've actually already done that, and this is going to be the page that you see when you first log in. All the tutorial videos, if you want to listen to me explain how all of this works. But I'm going to show you just a few tools in here so that we can find out what people on Amazon are buying in this low content book space. Because for a lot of you, this is probably brand new. So the first thing I'm going to show you is on the left-hand side, we're going to go to the Bookbolt Cloud. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This is simply going to show you the best-selling low-content books in a particular category. So what I usually will do is I might kick up the BSR range a little bit. I won't add anything else. I'm going to keep it in the notebook category, and I'm going to click on search. So we'll give it a second here. We'll see the results data, keyword data. I'm going to completely ignore that for now because I want to show you guys how ridiculously simple these books are. So we'll scroll down, and you're going to see a lot of different niches in here. Okay, so a sketchbook, just a girl who loves anime. Let me go ahead and open that up. I'll just show you that right here, 386 reviews. That's a lot. That's a lot of reviews when it comes to a book on Amazon. So this book doing fairly well. Again, we can scroll down here to the product details. This is how we figure out, is it a KDP book or not? Independently published is what you're looking for. Sometimes you might see CreateSpace. CreateSpace, owned by Amazon, they actually merged with KDP, I believe, a year ago. You'll see the BSR down here. Now, BSR, bestsellers rank. The easiest way to understand that is that the number one BSR in all of one category is the best seller compared to everyone else in that same category. Okay, so in books, a sales rank of under 5,000 is very, very good. And you'll see this is 120 pages. So just taking a look at another random niche here, the cover sticks out, just a girl who loves anime. We can go ahead and look inside. So here is the cover. We'll scroll down. Again, you're going to start noticing a trend here. A lot of the bestsellers will put an intro page that says, hey, this book belongs to, and then they'll let whoever buys it, fill out this line. So they feel nice and special when they get it in the mail. We'll scroll down. Now this, sometimes you'll see this too. Okay, so I went, I looked inside, and we don't see what the actual cover looks like, or the interior pages. Now, one way to kind of look inside without looking inside is reading these reviews. Sometimes you'll have some reviews that have images associated with them, not seeing it with this one. So we'll go back here and we'll just keep looking. An address book, all right? So this address book has literally just a picture on it that says address book. We can come down here, we can look at, all right, it's selling at $6.99. It's really not that expensive, so a lot of these books, people don't think twice about purchasing. But at $6.99, remember, you're putting it up on KDP, so every time you sell it, you're going to be getting a royalty without dealing with any customers, without buying, shipping, doing anything, but you get a physical book in the mail. So a little bit different than ebooks, a little bit different, but pretty much the same concept. Another thing to keep in mind, I saw in the chat, someone's asking about a BSR range. I kind of like to look all over the board. I just want to see what people are buying and if I can create my own unique product. Okay, and when I'm talking about unique products, there's two ways to differentiate yourself. There's either the cover, so you come up with your own cover and use kind of like a templated interior, or you do both. You have your own unique cover and you can change around your interior, maybe make one from scratch. So before I get into that, let me look at the chat real quick. Would Amazon be able to print notebooks with a leather case? So currently it's just books. There's no spiralized books. You can look at those. That's something that I will do as well, is I'll look at what's selling in like a spiralized version, because you can make different sizes on KDP. So you might be able to make like a 5x8 that could probably fit in a big purse, a backpack, something like that. And some of the spiralized books are quite large. So something to keep in mind as well. So let's just open up this book right here, the address book. We'll take a look at this address book. Super simple. It's a bestseller with 400 reviews on it. So again, we're going to scroll down, look at the product details. Independently published, a KDP book, published about a year and a half ago. 120 pages, 2,000 BSR. It's selling incredibly well. Now, I think this one has an interior. Let's take a look. Now, where you get the image, you don't have to necessarily use an image. You could use clip art. If you're an artist yourself, you could draw this stuff. You could take your own picture. You could find some, images that are free for commercial use. But scrolling down, this is the entire book. Name, address, homework, anniversary notes, mobile, email, birthday. That's it. That's that for 120 pages. I think it was 120 pages. Yep, 120 pages. That's it. They just repeated the same interior over and over and over again. So in comments, does this work for calendars too? It absolutely works for calendars, because all you're doing is you have a file for the interior, you have a file for your cover, and you slap those together on KDP and they'll print it for you. They'll ship it for you. So yes, you can do calendars, log books. I mean, here's an address book. Going back inside here, there was one that I wanted to show you and kind of create around. So you'll see, WTF is my password, all right? This book, who would have thought this is a book in the computer age, right? Like, I don't think I've used a book to jot down my password ever, but there's a lot of people out there that have. And as you can see, I usually like to look at the BSR not today, but the average over about a month, so I know that if it's a consistent seller or not. And over the last 30 days, this book has been a very, very consistent seller. So selling hundreds of copies a month. And I'll just open this up real quick to show you guys. Almost, it's coming in at 1,000 reviews almost. And intro page, and this is the book. This is the entire book. Is 4 lines repeating itself. So this is ridiculously easy to do, okay? Let me close some of these out. Now, there is one in here that I want to show you. Calligraphy writing paper, graph paper, handwriting paper, and another sketchbook. So coming into the cloud is basically going to show you in a particular category the best-selling books. So you can start getting ideas and figuring out, okay, I had absolutely no idea that, I don't even know what this is, Chinese writing practice book. I've never written a Chinese character in my life, but apparently people are practicing it, and it's selling really, really well. Here it is, checklist notebook, okay? So we'll see here, there's the title, the publisher, the reviews. It's got 171 reviews. It was published beginning of last year, right? Priced pretty competitively. It's flying off the shelf. I can actually take a look at the price history and the sales history over time. Inside of BookBolt, this is really helpful to figure out if I created one of these products, like do I want to put the time and effort into it? Looking at this, if you guys can see my screen here, over time, it's been a very consistent seller. It's stayed almost under 100,000 for the last couple of months here. And you'll see they haven't changed their price at all. Now, sometimes what you'll see when you look at this data is that, yes, the seller starts selling more and more books. And since they don't have to deal with anything else, they'll play around with their pricing. The more books they sell, they might bump their price by $1, $2, $3, depending on kind of where the market is, make more money with the same book. So this is something really good to take a look at. So let's actually go ahead and close this. We'll open up this book and let's look at it. So checklist notebook, very, very long subtitle here. I guess this is the title. So anything you see behind the colon is going to be the title, and the title has to be exactly what is on the book. Everything after the colon, that is the subtitle. So 106 reviews. Let's just go through this one more time. Scroll down, independently published, so KDP book, 120 pages, currently 33,800-ish BSR, so doing very well. Okay, so this stuff is selling. We'll take a look inside. Very simple cover. Okay, very, very simple cover. This book belongs to, this is literally 2 boxes. Anyone watching this could create these 2 boxes. Here is the entire book right here. Top priority, everything else. Top priority, everything. Repeated for 120 pages, I think. So before we go into creating one of these books, let me take a look at the comments. I want to make sure that I can answer all the questions you guys have. Let's see. What is Amazon's fee for printing one of these books? The fee is going to depend on how long the book is. That's why when you're doing these print-on-demand books, low content specifically, you're going to notice a lot of them about 100 to 120 pages. That's going to keep the price pretty low so that when you price it, say $5.99, $6.99, you're earning about $1, $2 per book sold. But again, that seems quite low when you think about the grand scheme of things. But as you can tell, like the interiors of these books, definitely not spending any money up front to buy the product. Because 5-6 years ago, I got into private label. And if anyone in this chat has done private label before, they know that your money is tied up all the time buying inventory. And it's kind of a huge struggle to balance all of that. Anywhere you can get the templates for the graph line paper. Yes, Sue, we're going to get to that. Quality of the printed books. Really, really good. So if you guys have a KDP account, which you should if you are doing ebooks, I'm going to get into how to make these books. You can make one in the next 5 minutes after I'm done talking, I promise. And you can order yourself an author copy and check them out. They're fairly good quality. Okay. I'm going to just catch up on the chat here. Yes, you have a KDP account. What is a KDP account? Kindle Direct Publishing, if that is an actual question, go Google that right now if you don't have one and pick up an account. Okay, so let's say that I took a look at this book, right? We found this inside a BookBolt. It's just a checklist book. We looked at it. We can see how it's selling over time. We realize, okay, this is a consistent seller. People actually want to buy checklist books. Okay, so the next thing that I usually do is I'll go to the product search over here and I'll enter that. I think I've already pulled this up. Yep, so I looked for checklist notebook. The product search inside of Bookbolt is going to pull live results from Amazon and then rank them in terms of sales rank. It's not going to pull all of them. It's going just to pull the best sellers. So scrolling down here, we see this right here. It's selling about 300 a month, give or take, depending. But what I like to do is I like to come in here and I like to look for every other checklist book that might be ranking and selling well. Okay, so we have this one right here. This one not relevant right here. Here's a to-do book. Let's this one priced about the same, 87 reviews. That's the cover. That's ridiculous. That's 5 colors with one hyphenated word. Okay, so again, let's scroll down this. So the interior looks a little bit different, but it's still a low content book. But the reason I'm showing you guys this in the product search is what you want to start to do is open up the ones. Let me close some of these because I have way too many tabs open. We'll keep that one open. And we will open this one. What you want to do is start opening up these books on Amazon because you want to pick out the right keywords to use when or after you create these type of books. Okay, so here's another to-do list notebook. This one took even a more simplistic, all they did was put to-do list notebook on the front with a semi-black background. That's it. So as you see, the interior a little bit different. So they're differentiating themselves with the interior. I probably would have done something a little different here. This is very bland. You want to catch the customer's eye. It's really down to 2 things, the cover and the interior. So keep that open. What you'll want to do is come back to this list in a bit, and we'll pull out different keywords. So right here, to-do list notebook, that might be something that we want to save for when we're listing our own book. Do you have a step-by-step process you can kindly provide us on with how to do this in simple steps if we subscribe? Yes, go to bookbolt.io. So let me just do that right now for you guys. So we'll do that. I want you to go to blog, all right, at the very top. And I believe it's the very first article that we ever published. So right, hold on, here we go. Bookbolt launch, your first $1,000 selling no content and print-on-demand books. This is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough of the entire process, kind of condensed all in one. So if you guys ever get stuck at the blog on bookbolt.io, go read this before you even sign up so you understand what is going on. Super, super helpful. Okay, so we're going to open up just a few more here. Here's another to-do list. Again, not rocket science. This is the cover of the book, so ridiculously easy. Now, something else that we can do, I see someone mentioning Katie Spy. I've used that a long time in the past. We actually made our own plugin for that. Sort of similar. So if you're inside of Bookbolt, if you guys do get a free account, if you go to the top right-hand menu, we have something called KDP Spy. So I've already gone ahead and installed it. It's on the Chrome web store. But just to show you guys, if I go over to Amazon and I type in to-do list book, to-do list notebook, I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's a very simple plugin, and it's going to look like this. So it'll open up a box, and you'll be able to click start, and this is going to go through the page and take a look at everything there. So it's going to run, blah, blah, blah. Now, you can just let it run as long as you want, but I'm just going to stop it. It's gone through almost 60 results, and it's going to show you the price, the sales rank, the ratings, the estimated sales. And what I will do is I'll come in here, and I'll just start taking a look like, okay, look at that one. That has a way better cover here, so why don't we just go ahead and open that up? Okay, looks a little bit different. We can take a look on the inside. That looks very familiar. We just saw a book with that exact interior. But notice how they're differentiating themselves here. It's the cover. It's the first thing that caught my eye. Okay, so let's go back to here. Another thing that we want to do, I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, is go to the keyword tab here. You see it's going ahead and it's searching, but I can just go in and type, to-do list, maybe. go ahead and see what this brings back. But this is going to show you kind of Amazon search volume, Google search volume, Google CPC. And you can go through here and figure out, if you don't know really what you're looking for, what to create, what people are searching for to create. So right here, someone mentioned spiral notebooks. You can't create them through KDP yet, but right here, people are searching this to-do list planner spiral. Not very many people, 45 a month, but hey, people are looking for that. So that is another way to come up with ideas and take a look on Amazon what on earth people are buying in the low to no content book space. How do you compete with all these sellers with hundreds of reviews? So two things, Stephanie. One, you want to be unique. So when you see a book like, like this, right? It has 26 reviews. That's not that many, but it's more than zero, right? But look at this cover. I mean, you could do so much better. Optimize your keywords a little bit. You can run AMS. So we can come down here and take a look. This book right here with literally nothing on the cover but to-do list notebook. Under 1 million BSR, 713,000. So it's not selling extremely well, but people are buying this. So you need to think of ways to stick out. Okay, so I think I've gotten across the point that people buy this stuff. We went over fairly quickly on how to figure out what people are buying, you know, where they're pricing at, the average BSR, stuff like that. Let's get into actually creating one of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and open up. So you can do this in two spots inside of BookBolt. Now, if you are a designer and you use, you know, Photoshop, Illustrator, by all means do that. But if you're someone like me who has absolutely no idea how to design anything, like I have a serious problem in Photoshop. It takes me 10 minutes to do almost any task. So we created a designer. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up for you guys. When you first log in, this is what it's going to look like. Now you have to pick a template for KDP. Okay, so you can create a cover or an interior. We're just going to focus on the cover now because I'm going to show you a free resource to get free interiors in a minute, so you can focus on one aspect. And this is what I'm talking about when you can get your book up in the next 5 minutes. So let me go ahead, explain this, and then I'm going to show you guys how to create your own. So we're going to do a cover, and in KDP, there's a bunch of different trim sizes. That's just the size of the book, right? You can have a small book, 5x8. You can have it a little bit larger, 6x9. All of these different sizes of books. Now, a lot of the time when people are doing low content print on demand books, they're going to usually go with 6x9. I saw someone in the comments earlier ask, is it only 6x9? No, it's a lot of different sizes, but you're going to see 6x9 pop up over and over and over again. That's because they typically, not all the time, it's not the rule, but they typically sell the absolute best. So we're going to go ahead and pick the trim size. Now we need to talk about paper color. Okay, so if you're doing ebooks, doesn't really matter. But when you're doing print on demand books, so physical copy books, this is going to matter a great deal. Because if you do a color book, so this could be like a coloring book is a low content book. If you have color in your books, it dramatically increases the cost to Amazon to actually print that book. So you won't make hardly any money if you do a color interior. So highly recommend you don't do that. You change all your interiors to grayscale. So I'm just going to pick white, right? And then there's page count. How many pages is your book? 100 to 120 is very typical. BookBolt software, is there a cost to BookBolt? There's a 3-day free trial, so bookbolt.io, and then Sophie20 in all caps is the coupon code. But no cost for 3 days. You guys can follow along, create this stuff right off the bat. This is recorded, right? Yes, I believe she is recording it. I am sorry if I'm trying to go through this fast. I just want to make sure I get through everything within the time allotment. So my apologies. Yes, recorded. Okay, let's keep going here. I am sorry if I'm going too fast. I'll try to slow it down a little bit. Finally, we need to come up with a page count. So page count, usually 100 to 120 pages. Sounds like a lot, but it makes a pretty decent sized book. So I'm just going to go with 100 pages. Okay, so we'll click submit here, and it's going to create the template. Because if you have a 700-page book or something ridiculously big, it's going to change how big the cover of your spine is. Okay, so this has to go through, do all the math, and basically create this template for us. So I've actually already gone ahead and created a book cover, if you will, but this is what it's going to look like. So you, on the left-hand side, you have, this is the back cover of the book, okay? Left-hand side, back cover, right-hand side, front cover, okay? I'm not a designer. This is one image here, all right? So I just put an image here. Floral stuff seems to do really well on KDP. Don't ask me why. People like it. And all I'm doing is I'm going to create a checklist book because that's what we were looking at over here, okay? To-do list, checklist, stuff like that. Remember, two pieces of a print-on-demand book. The cover, the interior. The interior, not a story this time, low content. So let me head back over here. So again, left-hand side is the back cover. I typically don't put anything here. The front cover, you want the title of your book. What is it? You want people right off the bat to notice, what is your book? What can they expect to get to it? This is very, very, very simple checklist to do notebook. Now, you can add text in here. So I could come in here and add some text, test, if I could spell, just to show off how this works. You can come up here and change the color of all this, black. I can make this turquoise. Drag and drop. That's what I know how to do because I'm not a designer. You guys might be in the same boat. So I'll just go through how I made this right here real quick for you guys. The back is just an image. So if you have your own images, if you have some images that are free for commercial use, make sure to check the licenses. You can drag them over here inside of the images tab. If you don't, we do have a resources tab here. This is going to check Pixabay, I think. So if I can come in here and pick dog, I can just pick one of these out and it'll import it. And I could make this the cover of my book. Now, again, you'd want to go over and check the license of what you're using because we don't want to be using anything that you can't use. But what I did is I simply came in here and I picked out, I think I typed in rose or flower, and I just added something, okay? Now, when you're in here and you're kind of creating this book, this is a fairly fast process once you get the hang of it. But really the only thing you're going to need to know is when you first put this on the page, it's going to be the first thing you see. So if you put anything else on the page, it's going to be in the back. You need to do the layers, okay? So anything you add is going to become a new layer. So what I did is I put one layer here. So that's the background. I put one layer here. This is literally just a box. So where did I get a box? I got a box over here on shapes. You can add whatever you want. Here's a big, I could put this there. Okay, that looks terrible. So all I did is I put a box here. I went to layers and I dragged it behind. I added some text and then I went to layers. And as you can see here, the two text lines, I dragged them above this layer right here. So everything is readable and you can see it. Okay, so we know right now this is for a 100-page book. Okay, because that's what we selected when we did this right here. 100-page book, so we know everything is going to upload correctly to KDP. We added a name. We made it stick out. We put a box behind it so everyone can see it. And then once it's done, literally all you have to do is come up here to download. It's going to prepare it into a PDF, which you can then download on your computer. Okay, so that file, the one you download from the designer, if you are using Bookbolt to do this, you can upload directly to KDP. So let me check some comments while this is preparing. You can check the license how. So if you go to like Pixabay or any website that has free images to use, usually in the right-hand corner, somewhere down on the side, all you're looking for is the license agreement, okay? So the license agreement, you see something that says like free for commercial use, something like that, you're good to go. If you took your own images, you clearly have, your license from yourself that is free to use yourself. Stuff like that. You can use clip art. You can hire an artist to do this. Okay, so like I have some people that work for me that literally just doodle small drawings. If I was doing a book for construction workers, I might have them kind of like outline a construction worker, put that on the book. So it can be pretty much whatever you want. Purchasing pictures from Shutterstock is okay. If you purchase the commercial use one, I believe that should be just fine. Can we get the cover done by someone on Fiverr instead of avoiding the possibility of having the same cover with someone else if we sign up to the software? You can do whatever you want. When it comes to uploading to KDP, you need to make sure that they're in the right dimensions. and that it's a PDF file. Okay. Is this Mac friendly? Yes, this isn't like a software you download to your desktop. It's all based through the internet, so all good there. You make it look so easy. Happy to hire you for a day. Okay. Can you spell the resource Pixabay? If you just Google Pixabay, it'll be probably the first result you see in Google. Did you do the internal formatting of the book? We are literally just getting to that. So let me finish up the cover here. So we created it. I clicked download. It went through all the math. It calculated how big this thing needs to be. If I click on download, it's going to open up the new page. This is what the book will look like. Like, this is the file. So if you go up here to the right and download it, this is what you're going to upload to Amazon. Done for you, okay? So remember, 2 pieces of the puzzle. I know I've said this like 18 times. There's the cover and there's the interior. And I'm about to show you guys a free way to get these interiors. So again, go to bookbolt.io. You guys are following. At the very top of the screen, we're going to click on resources. We're going to click interior wizard, and we're going to click this blue button, okay? Interior wizard. And it's going to show up like this. Now, we created a lot of interiors. There's over 100 of them in here. You're going to notice a lot of different niches. So journals, college rule, build tracker, career planners, home to-dos. So we're creating a kind of a checklist, a to-do list. Let's see. So I'm just going to do a Control F and look for to-do. So we have one here, okay? These are all clickable. These are all clickable. It looks like we have 4. We have one right next to it for a monthly interior. We have one down here, to-do list, and we have another type of to-do list. So you have 4 to pick from. They're completely free. All right, so this is how you download them. Let's pick this one. Okay, so let me get rid of this. To use this tool, all you have to do is click on whatever you want. So click, click. Notice how it gets highlighted in blue. Okay, so you can click that. Then in the top box that says interior generator, you want to pick bleed or no bleed. I always pick bleed. That's just kind of the way that these books are printed. If you don't want to deal with any issues with Amazon, pick bleed. And now we need to give it a size and a page count. Now, before we fill that out, we need to make sure that what we pick here matches what we just created over here. Okay, so if you remember, we did a 6x9 book. We did a 100-page count. Okay, I see someone asking here, bleed. You can look up bleed. I'm probably not the best person to explain it, but it's how the file gets printed, if it goes to the edges of the pages or not on Amazon. So things might be cut off. We want to make sure that everything actually fits on the physical book that Amazon's going to be printing. And I've never had an issue if I select bleed on all of these. But if you just Google bleed versus no bleed, they're going to explain it way better than I ever could, and I don't want to completely butcher it or confuse you guys. So, all right, so we're going to pick bleed, 6x9 and 100. These 2 numbers need to match your cover. If they don't, you're going to have an error and you won't be able to publish it on Amazon. Okay, so we know that it's 6x9 and 100 because I just created the cover and that's what I picked. We've selected this to-do list. We're going to click download, and it's going to open this page right here. Okay, and here's literally 100 pages of the same interior, but this is going to be what you upload to Amazon to create your low content book. Okay, so now we have 2 pieces of the puzzle. We have the interior. We just created the cover right here. So now we're good to go. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to open up KDP and I'll show you guys how this works. Need to make sure I can log in here. I'm logging in on another screen, so 1 moment. Okay, bookshelf, save and continue. Okay. KDP's been a little bit slow today. All right, I'm going to close. I'm not going to close anything. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, let me bring the chat over. Okay, so if you don't have a KDP account, go get one right now. Kindle Direct Publishing account. Just Google that, sign up. It's absolutely free. There's no waiting time. There's waiting times for other Amazon accounts. KDP, you can literally sign up and have your first book uploaded probably by the time I'm done talking here. Okay, so this is going to be the front page. Now, if you guys are creating ebooks, you're probably selecting this one right here. We are creating physical books that will be shipped in the mail that you can open, sniff, scratch, smell, touch, throw. physical books. Okay, so we're going to click on paperback. Now, I've actually already started just to speed this up a little bit. But once you click on paperback, it's going to allow you to actually set up your book. So this is the first page that you are going to see. I'm going to quickly walk through. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, but this is going to be very, very quick. So you have a few boxes. You have 3 tabs to do. Okay, first one, you want to give your book a title. The title of the book needs to match exactly what is on the cover of your book. Okay, so let's take a look. The book says Checklist to-do Notebook. Okay, so that is exactly what I put in here. Has to be, if you put anything else in the title, you're going to get a rejection from KDP and they're going to ask you to change it. Okay, the subtitle. We were looking at one of these other books here. So to-do list, look, that's what they put the title in. Everything after a colon when you're looking on Amazon proper, this is their subtitle, this ginormous thing right here. This is a great place to put in keywords, relevant keywords to the book. Now, again, remember when I told you to keep these Amazon tabs open? What I'll usually do is I'll come in here and I'll say, all right, let's pull out all the relevant keywords, you know, daily task organizer, to-do list notebook, you know, you have list template. So every single one I'd pull out. Inside of Book Bolt, I'd probably go to the keywords tab. This is also going to give you, I've already gone ahead and searched it before we got on here, you know, checklist book for teachers. It's going to show you that, yes, these actually get searched on Amazon. Compile all of these keywords into a list because you're going to want them in a minute here. Can you choose the type and weight of the paper pages? You have a few options. We're going to get to that. If you want to put it inside the cover, how do I do that? We only see the cover PDF from the outside. I'm not sure I understand your question. Put it inside of the cover. Not sure I understand. Should subtitle make sense or just be stuff with keywords? So Donna, it should be kind of both. You don't want it to look spammy. You want the customer that's going to land on the page to have a good customer experience, but you also want to put in keywords. So let's go back to KDP. You'll see I have the book title in here. And for the subtitle, I did put quite a bit of keywords in here. It is pretty long. I said 100, so it's going to read checklist to do notebook, colon, and then it's going to say 100-page line checklist for your to-do tasks, customizable, undated pages allow for daily, weekly, and monthly planning to organize your life. So notice how when I said that out loud to you, I wasn't really stumbling across what I'm saying because I did put it in a readable format, but I put tons of keywords in here. You know, you have daily, weekly, monthly planning, you have organized, customizable, undated pages, checklist, task. So you could put task list to do task list. You're really just putting keywords in a readable format. Does the subtitle need to be printed on the book itself? No, Amy, you don't have to put the subtitle on the book. It's just what you fill out inside of KDP. Is this like print on demand mug designs where you throw up hundreds on Kindle and see what sticks and sells? So, sort of. I wouldn't put up trash. I'd make sure you're doing your research first. So if you were around from the very beginning, figuring out what people actually want to buy and then creating and customizing either those covers or those interiors. We're not going to go over it today, but something else to take a look at is you can run AMS ads through your KDP account to low content books, and those do work very, very well. Can you change the template with the interior? We don't have a way to currently edit the, let me see where they are, these interiors. So these are just going to be generated based on what you put in here. If you are proficient in editing PDFs or changing these things up, yeah, you can edit them. These are literally free for you guys to use. But we don't have a tool for you to do that. We do have inside of the designer, just real quick, you can actually create your own interior here. So if you pick interior instead of cover, create it left and right, that'll just repeat both of those pages, how many times you enter in there. Where are customers going to find our books for sale on Kindle or books? On Patricia, it's books on Amazon. So they're going to show up just like this. So you see this one, you'll see right here, it is in the book category. So it will show up as a physical paperback book that will ship to you. It won't be in the Kindle store because remember when we actually came in here to the bookshelf, let's just open that up real quick. We picked paperback and not Kindle ebook because it wouldn't make any sense to put a low content book on Kindle because they actually need to like physically write in it. You don't really read a low content book. So you're always picking paperback books in here. Okay, I think I'm caught up here. Let's let's keep going here. So book title needs to match what's on the cover. Your subtitle can be literally whatever you want, but fill it in with keywords. And the way you get those keywords inside a book bolt, keyword module on the left-hand side, you'll see which keywords have Amazon search volume. Make sure the ones you're picking out are relevant. So use those. Also use the keywords. Let me just close that one. From books that are in the position you want to be in. Okay, so this is a to-do list, just like I'm creating a to-do list, but does this book right here look anything like this? No, completely different product. But I'm sorry I keep jumping around so much. I'm trying to find this book right here is in a position that I want my book to be. Okay, so I can pick out keywords that are relevant to the product that I'm listing. Daily task organizer, to-do list notebook. Okay, so pick all those out. That's why I kept these open. You know, simple to-do list, checklist notebook. There's a lot of keywords that we can rank for that people on Amazon are searching, and we know they're searching for them because these books that we went through a while ago are selling super well. They have hundreds and hundreds of reviews. People are buying them, and the people that are selling them are making very good money, pretty much doing nothing. So, I mean, aside from the initial startup phase of creating the product and getting it live. So let's go back here. That's the book title and the subtitle. We'll scroll down. Your book's not part of a series. It's a low content book. Skip it. It's not part of an edition. Low content book. Skip it. For the author, okay, so it's going to ask you for a prefix, a first name, a middle name, a last name, a suffix. I like to just come up with an author name. And I put one in the first name and one in the last name. So I just came up with, Floral Press. So on Amazon, it's going to show up as Floral Press. That is going to be the brand name underneath the book. Okay, so you want to come up with something that is relevant to what you're selling. Okay, it wouldn't make any sense to come in here and put your first and last name. I wouldn't do that. You can do that if you want. If you really want your low content books to show up under your personal name, go for it. If you have like a ghost name, ghostwriting name, use that. It's whatever you guys want, okay? Contributors. This is optional. I literally never fill this out because I just create these by myself, or I have, someone, a VA, create them for me. Here's the description. Now for the description, it's not necessarily going to help you rank on Amazon, but it does show up and help your book rank on Google as the meta description, okay? So you can come in here, add in some keywords, but just know that it's not going to help you rank necessarily on Amazon. So what I'll do is I'll kind of fill this out with what the book is, make it readable, don't spam it, and just kind of put what the book is. So I came in here and I said, this easy medium notebook and journal has lined pages. They're undated, allowing you to structure checklists and tasks in an easy to follow template. Okay, sentence, got a bunch of keywords in there, and we got checklists, we have tasks, template, notebook, journal. So you see I'm filling it out with keywords, but I can still say it out loud, so it's not a bad customer experience. At the very end here, I just put what it is. 100 pages, 6x9 size, will fit in most bags and large purses, and then I'm going to do white paper, okay? So fill out the description. It's basically just, what are you going to sell? What kind of book is this? If it is a calf breeding journal or whatever we looked at the very beginning, just tell them what it is, okay? The customer wants to know what they're going to be getting. And little secret, most people never read the description anyways. They look at the cover and they buy it. All right. Let's see here. Is the description text or HTML? It's either or. So you can come in here if you guys know how to use HTML or you have an HTML editor. You can easily create these as bulleted lists. It looks a lot better. But I don't want to like complicate the process for you guys. But you can do either or, Bruce, inside of the description here, just to show you. Let's see if any of these did. This one didn't. This one did. So notice, I see Bruce asking a question about HTML. This one is this is the description right here, right underneath the price. So they've made this bold. They probably made this like a title tag. They have a bulleted list of exactly what this is. Okay, so that's HTML. It just makes this look a lot cleaner. Can you add your own pages and quotes? Joanna, yes, you absolutely can. real quick, if you go to bookbolt.io, let's see if I have one of these pages open, resources, interior PDF combiner, you can use this, upload your own pages, and then come in here, and this is going to take those same templates that I was showing you earlier. So you can upload your own to this, and you can just make, all right, I'm going to have a book that has all of these random things in it. Bleed 6x9 download. And this will take a second, but then it will, here we go, download. So let me go ahead and open it. And you'll see the first page different from the second page, different from the third. So you can combine your own and create those intro pages that I was pointing out at the very beginning. And it just helps you, creating your own unique product instead of just using the templates. But I went ahead and used a template just to kind of explain the process and get you guys started so you can get your book up today. Okay, let's keep going. Description, we went over that. Just describe what you're selling, not rocket science, super easy. Next box says publishing rights. Is this a public domain work or do you own the copyrights? Did you create the cover? Yes. So you just check the box that says I own the copyright. And then there is the keyword tab. This is why I told you guys to keep the Amazon tabs open, and inside of BookBolt, use those keywords. I think I might have closed it, but anyways, right here, this keyword tab, coming over here, I've already pre-searched this, so it's already filled out. All of these different keywords that are relevant to your book is what you want to fit in here. So I am almost past my time, but just real quick, the first two boxes, I put in keywords related to the market. So like, who is the buyer? Who is it for? Is it for teachers? Is it for farmers? That's what you want to fill out in here. And again, when you're filling out these keyword boxes, no need to put any punctuation. Okay? Don't repeat the same keyword over and over again. These are keywords that you want to rank for, but that the customer will never see, ever. These are back-end keywords. So the 2 and 4, what I like to do is I put keywords related to the product. So like what type of book you're selling. Notebook, notepad, journal, task list. That's the kind of keyword that you want to put in these two boxes. You have 50 characters each. No need to completely fill them out. Okay, so you can fill all 50 characters on each 7 boxes, or you can just do the relevant keywords. You want to make sure that it's all relevant. If you can't think of anything else, you've gone through the keyword tool in BookBolt, you've gone through all the sellers, don't just start making up terms or adding stuff that's not relevant. It's not needed, I promise. All right, so this box right here, this is going to be what, the 5th box? These are description keywords. So like gift, graduation, funny, gag, stuff like that that's related and relevant to the book we're selling. All right. And then the last 2 boxes, I do keywords related to the niche. So if we were doing a cow calving journal that for some reason sells on Amazon, we want to put keywords related to the niche. So we'd have like, if there's particular keywords for farming, like that a farmer would be intimately familiar with that relate to calving, like that's not really my wheelhouse, so I don't know off the top of my head. Those are the keywords you want to enter in these 2 boxes. Okay? So you go ahead and fill this out. You want to get this information from the books that are currently in the position that you want to be in, so the ones that are selling really well. And you can also grab them inside of BookBolt. It's going to show you if they're getting searches per month or not. Okay, next we have categories. Now, I don't know if you guys do categories with ebooks or not, but anyways, if you click choose categories here, if you've ever seen this list, it's the most ridiculous. It's the worst part about Amazon. You have fiction, nonfiction, juvenile fiction, so on and so forth. But figuring out what category actually fits your book is almost impossible. So, you click on, nonfiction, and you get in here, you're like, I have absolutely no idea what to pick. So if we go over, again, I have way too many tabs open. Here it is. To BookBolt, and you want to go to the KDP category finder. If you're inside of BookBolt, it's under, let's see, right here, KDP categories in left menu. It will open up that page. So let me just go ahead and find where I put that. I'm going to bring it here so I know where it is. I just typed in time management. Okay, so I picked time management because I looked at, I'm going to start closing these. I think it's this book. So scroll down on a book that is in a position that you want to be in, right? I know this book is selling well. 33,000 BSR. It's an independently published book. Tons of ratings. And I notice, hey, it's ranking in personal time management. Okay, I would like to be there as well. So I can come over to this tool right here. I typed in time management. I click search, and here are all the categories on KDP that are relevant to time management. So this will tell me where to find them in that ginormous list. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. Nonfiction, self-help, self-management, time management. So I went to nonfiction. Okay, I think it was self-help and self-management, and then time management. That's how I found it quickly instead of wasting, it could take you an hour to find this. Amazon, if you're listening, needs to fix this. But anyways, that is how to figure out the categories. Just figure out something that is relevant to your book, or that a book that's selling is in a position that you guys want to be in. All right, adult content or not, we're not creating terrible books here. Even if you have swear words on your books, which a lot of low content books have, it's not necessarily low content. This is more for like X-rated stuff. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Select no, click save and continue. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's pretty much most of setting up the book. So you'll have a button here that says get a free ISBN number. You need this for the next steps. This will be blue on your screen when you're doing it. Just click the button and then you'll see, hey, you've been assigned an ISBN number. Publication date, I would just skip it. It'll be the publication of whenever you hit publish. Here are those print options, okay? So remember, when we created it, we did black and white with white paper. We selected white paper. So this has to match what we created at first in the designer and everything, okay? So we selected white paper. If you were doing a color interior, you want to select this. We selected white paper. If you're doing a cream paper, you select this, okay? So just you're mixing and matching. Trim size, okay? There's a lot of different trim sizes in here. This right here is going to match what we did in the designer. Remember, we picked 6x9, so I've already gone ahead and filled that out. Here's that bleed or no bleed, okay? Again, I'm very bad at describing bleed and no bleed. I just pick bleed so I don't run into any problems. And then you have the option of picking what your cover looks like. Do you want a matte cover? Do you want a glossy cover? This literally doesn't matter. This is just up to preference. So if you guys are in the US, which will probably be the easiest way to get these books, I'd suggest just ordering them. Set the price as low as you can, and then just order one for yourself. And then you can feel the difference on these. But this doesn't really matter. You pick whatever you want. Okay, this right here, the manuscript and the book cover. This is where you take those two files we created. So remember, we took this file that was 100 pages from over here. Okay, so remember, we created this simply by clicking on it, clicking download. We upload that to KDP right here. Click the button, upload the file. For the book cover, typically this is going to be selected, the first button, but you already have a PDF because you created it over here in the designer. Okay, you already created it. You download it to your computer as a PDF. So you want to select this second button, which I've already done. Upload the file. You see it's already uploaded here, and that's literally it. So the next process, that can take maybe 5 minutes, maybe depending on how long Amazon is going. But click Launch Previewer, and it's going to just show you what it looks like. And if you've done everything following what I'm saying, it's going to look just fine. And then you'll click Approve, and then that's literally that page completely done. And now I have noticed someone in the chat asking about the pricing. So we are going to get to that right now. Where do you create a barcode? Stephanie, that is a good point. If you go back here to paper content, when you click assign me, this will be a blue button for you guys. When you click this and when you upload this, it's going to add the barcode for you. You don't have to do that to anything. Amazon's going to take care of that for you. So all you have to do is upload that PDF you created, and they're going to shove it in the back corner, back cover rather, of your book. So at the very bottom, you'll see here, this is going to be your printing cost for Amazon. You don't have to pay this because this is going to come out of your royalty, okay? Super cheap, $2, not bad. So let's get to that pricing because I know a lot of people are asking about that. Finally, we get to the last page here, paperback rights and pricing. So I always just keep the territories as all territories. I want to sell it everywhere I can, right? We want as many people to see this as possible. Then you get to the pricing and royalty structure. So with low content books, two things. One, look at what other people in your niche are selling for. Okay, so if everyone is selling at $6.99, you don't want to go sell at $48. Like you're not going to make any sales. You're going to be very, very upset. So I'll usually just come in here and price it $6.99, $5.99 to say $8.99, give or take. But again, look at the competition, the people that are in the position that you want to be in. Now, you can sell all over the place. I've entered in $7.99. You'll see that, you know, printing is $2.15. We just saw that. And you're getting about $2.64 royalty. You bump this to $8.99. It'll recalculate $3 royalty, $3.24. If it's $5.99, okay, $1.44. It really depends on the market, where you're going into, okay? But I'm going to keep this at $7.99. I need a period in there, okay? And then you'll also notice once you enter in the U.S. as the primary marketplace, you'll see 7 other marketplaces here: UK, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, Japan, Canada. And you can edit, you'll see in the right-hand corner the royalty amount for each one. It's changed $7.99. It's kind of done the conversion for you. But if you're like, if you're French and you created a book and you're like, I know that, you know, people in France are going to love this book, I want to sell it higher. You come in here and be like, all right, I'm going to sell this book at 10 euros. It's going to be €4 profit. Okay, so you can come in here and edit any of this that you want. But this is the pricing structure. So you'll see what it costs Amazon to print right here, and you'll see the pricing structure on the right. So it's going to be how much money you make every time someone sells it, and that's the end. That's the end. You don't do anything past getting paid. And that's how much it costs Amazon to print it, which is how they come up with your royalty. Expanded distribution, you can go ahead and check this. I probably wouldn't for low content books, because this deals with kind of getting these books, you know, being sold kind of all over the place outside of Amazon. So I usually keep that off just so that Amazon's nice and happy. But you can check this if you want. Kind of give or take. I don't really see many royalties coming in through this option. But if you want to Google it, take a look at it. But me personally, I typically keep it off. Can you translate the content in other languages? So yeah, you can. If you're doing an interior that has a few words on it, you can translate the content and only sell it, you know, in a different primary marketplace. But for the stuff that I've been doing, I've been selling primarily in the US and then getting that same book all over the place. So it really depends on what you are creating. Why only $2 profit? So it's going to depend on the list price, right? But at the end of the day, you're not paying anything up front. You didn't have to buy any inventory. You don't have to deal with any customers. So like, yeah, a $2.64 royalty doesn't sound much, like very much. But if you get a low content book up that's selling, you know, 1,000 copies a month, and you're doing literally no work, and you have, you know, 5 of those, you're making very, very good money based on pretty much doing the work one time. So not available on Amazon.co.au. I don't think so. Yep, no, I don't see it. Don't see it down there. Doesn't mean that you can't sign up for KDP. I don't think, if you are in, I think AU is Australia. But yeah, so that's it. That's literally the whole process. You come down here, it's going to say it can take up to 72 hours. You're going to click on publish your paperback book. And generally, it's going to be live in probably like 2 or 3 hours. It's been a long time since I've seen it take 72 hours for your book to go live. So you guys could follow this whole process, get your first book online, see the process, order one for yourself, and then start to figure out, okay, now this is how to figure out, like we did in the very beginning, what are people buying? What can I create? Okay, I have all these free templates. How can I use these to make another stream of income? Because don't get me wrong, ebooks are great. I have ebooks on Amazon. They do very well. But low content books don't require me to write anything, which is why I'm just super excited to actually sell them to people all over the place. I'm way past my time. There are other avenues that you can do coloring books if you are kind of more artistically talented than I am. You can do not coloring books. You can do puzzle books, which I was going to talk about, but you know, Sudoku books, stuff like that. Real quick, if you do use Bookbowl, I want to show you guys. You can go to Create. You can go to Puzzle Whiz. This is another software inside of Bookbowl here. I have it open right. I'm just going to start closing this stuff since we went through the process. I'm going to find it. right here. Okay, so this is what Puzzle Whiz is going to be. This is going to allow you to create those puzzle interiors, Sudoku, crossword, word search, you name it, that people are actively buying on Amazon without creating them. Because I can't personally create a Sudoku puzzle, but you see I've already gone ahead. All you're doing is selecting some settings. But I've created one of these. I came in here, I selected some settings and clicked submit. And now I have this interior, which is a PDF, which I can upload directly to Amazon, make a new cover, and all of a sudden I'm selling puzzles on Amazon. Okay.
Can I just interrupt a second, Neil?
Yeah.
We have got quite a busy schedule, and just aware of the time, and I've just seen a lot of people saying they have to go. So
okay.
One idea is that we maybe get you back for part 2 another time, even if we pre-recorded it. So
yeah, that worked. I'm so sorry if I talked fast. I want to try to cover everything.
That's okay.
But,
no, it's good to cover lots of content, and we can. We'll share this recording as sort of an intro, but let's connect separately and look at bringing you back for some more detailed training, and then we can not rush you, and all our members get to learn as much as there is to learn about low content publishing.
Awesome.
So
well, thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. Our pleasure. Thank you so much. That was really great instruction, great demo, and a whole new strategy. So you can see how quick and fast this is, and I just think it's a winner. So with the BookBolt software, you've got that coupon code for a discount. And what else do we need to mention, Virginie? Anything else? We'll
all is recorded, and you can find the recording in your Blue Sky member area and the KPI weekly calls. I will also add the link and the coupon code in our resource section. So this way you can just go into the resource directory. I will add this as an additional resource, and you can find the link underneath there.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
That's good. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Great to see you all back and fresh and eagerly learning. So keep up the energy and good work, and we'll see you next week on the next call.
Perfect. See you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Neil. Bye.
Bye.